The cafe on Market Street woke the same way every weekday morning, before the sun, before the city remembered its own name. At subah ke 5:30 baje, the metal shutters rolled up with a tired groan, and Maya slipped inside like a practiced ritual. Lights on, music low, grinder cleaned before the first bean touched steel. She tied her apron in the same double knot her mother had taught her, tight enough to hold, loose enough to breathe. Habit wasn't boring to Maya. Habit was messy. It kept the chaos gentle. Steam rose from the espresso machine, fogging the front window just enough to blur the street into a watercolor of headlights and alley buses. By 6 o'clock, the bell over the door chimed steadily, construction workers with dust on their boots, nurses clutching travel mugs, a law student who ordered the same cold brew and never smiled. Maya greeted them all with the same warmth, the same eye contact, the same quiet intention, see the person, not the order. At subah ke 6:12, the man entered. He hesitated at the threshold as if the cafe were a foreign country with rules he hadn't learned yet. Grey hoodie, scuffed sneakers, a travel backpack slung over one shoulder, heavier than it looked. His eyes scanned the menu too quickly, then too slowly, like someone reading a map upside down. When it was his turn, he leaned in and spoke softly. Pardon, puedo. His Spanish trailed off, uncertain. The register beeped, impatient. A woman behind him cleared her throat. Maya smiled. Claro, en que puedo ayudar. Her Spanish was careful, not fleshy. She'd learned it in pieces, neighbors, late-night radio, a summer job in San Diego. Enough to listen well. Relief flickered across his face. He tried to explain, hands moving as much as his words. Something about milk, about allergies, about needing a receipt, como official. Maya nodded, repeating back what she understood. When he corrected her, she thanked him. Habit. People felt calmer when you let them help you get it right. Then he switched languages, abruptly. Excusez-moi, il va y de noi. French, this time. Hesitant but precise. Pass the noi, Maya replied. Mais je vais vérifier. She turned the laminated elegant chart toward him and traced the lines with her finger. His shoulders lowered an inch. Behind him, the line grew. Someone sighed loudly. Maya didn't speed up. The man glanced back, flustered, then tried again, German now, clipped and apologetic. Ich brauche quitting. Zwei Kopien. Maya laughed softly, not at him but with him. Ja, zwei Kopien. She printed a test receipt to be sure the formatting matched what he needed. Expense reports could be unforgiving, she knew that from watching regulars argue with their phones. He pointed to a pastry, then shook his head quickly. No, no nuts. His English arrived like a fragile bridge. Let's make it safe, Maya said. She swapped the tray for one she knew by heart, ingredients memorized, labels checked twice every morning. Habit. When he reached for his wallet, his hands trembled just enough to notice. Maya wondered where he'd come from. Overnight flight, maybe. Jet lag that made languages bump into each other like suitcases on a carousel. He tried Mandarin next, almost embarrassed. Hugger, ao ngauma. Maya's Mandarin was limited, kitchen phrases learned from a former roommate, but she caught the keyword. Nuts. She shook her head and smiled. Me ao ngau. Safe. His eyes widened. He laughed, a surprise, breathy sound. 6 languages, he said in English now, steadier. You're very kind. I'm just doing my job, Maya said, though she knew that wasn't quite true. Plenty of people did the job faster. Habit was what she chose. The Wi-Fi cut out just as he sat down by the window. He returned to the counter, frustration leaking through his politeness. I need to send a file. It's important. Maya wrote the password on a clean card instead of reciting it over the noise. She reset the router, the way she always did when the morning surge overloaded it. Habit again, don't fight the machine, help it breathe. Thank you, he said, genuinely this time. He tipped more than necessary, then paused, as if deciding something. What made you learn all those languages? Maya considered the question. Listening, she said, and needing to be understood. He nodded like that made perfect sense. By the window, he typed fast, coffee untouched, eyes sharp now. Maya watched him between orders. Whatever he was sending seemed to matter. When the file finally whooshed away, he exhaled, long and deep, like someone suffocating from water. He stood to leave in a rush, and forgot his phone on the table. Maya noticed immediately. Habit. She grabbed it and hurried outside, the bell jangling wildly behind her. The morning had fully arrived, the street buzzed. Sir, she called. He turned, startled. She pressed the phone into his hand. Their eyes met, and something unspoken passed between them, gratitude, surprise, the brief intimacy of a problem solved together. You saved my day, he said. Maya shrugged, smiling. It's just how I work. Across the street, a black sedan idled. The driver glanced up as the men climbed in, phone safe, backpack settled. The car pulled away, leaving the cafe humming behind. Maya returned to the counter, tied her apron tighter, and greeted the next guest. The habit held, steam screamed from the espresso machine. Cups clinked like nervous teeth. The bell above the door rang so often it sounded panicked. Outside, San Francisco's early traffic groaned and rushed, but inside, time moved faster. Maya loved this hour. Subah ke 5:30 baje sharp. Same ritual, same power, same promise. Apron on, double knot. Wipe the counter left to right. Test the grinder. Check the allergen chart. Breathe. See the person, not the order. It wasn't written anywhere. No manager demanded it. It was just a habit Maya had built after too many mornings watching people get ignored because they spoke wrong, dressed wrong, or hesitated too long. By subah ke 6:10, the line curled almost to the door. Then he walked in. He didn't belong to the chaos. Not because he looked important, he didn't, but because he looked lost. Grey hoodie, wrinkled pants, a travel backpack that had seen too many airports. His eyes darted from menu to register like the words might rearrange themselves if he stared hard enough. When his turn came, he froze. Pardon, he whispered. Yo necesito. The register beeped. Loud, annoyed. A man behind him sighed. Someone checked their watch. Maya leaned forward and smiled like she had all the time in the world. Tranquilo, she said gently. Estoy aquí. His shoulders dropped instantly. Spanish poured out of him now, fast, messy, desperate. Milk, allergy, receipt, meeting, problem. Maya listened, not rushing, not correcting, just listening. Okay, she said in Spanish, slower. Sin musas, leche de avena, recibo official. His eyes widened. He nodded hard. Then, without warning, he switched languages. Excusez-moi, le café, il va de noi. French, careful, educated, still anxious. No, Maya replied smoothly. Mais je verify toujours. She turned the allergen chart toward him, finger tracing each line. His hand stopped shaking. The line behind him grew restless. Someone muttered, come on. Maya didn't speed up. The man swallowed, embarrassed, and tried again, German this time. Zwei Quittungen, bit. Yes, Maya said, already printing a test receipt. 2 copies. Correct format. He stared at her like she'd just unlocked a door he'd been banging on all morning. He pointed at a pastry, then quickly shook his head. No nuts. English now, fragile but clear. Let's make it safe, Maya said. She removed the tray entirely and replaced it with another. Clean, verified, trusted. Then, almost apologetically, he tried Mandarin. Haga, ao ingauma. Maya paused half a second, then smiled. Me ao ingau, she said. The man actually laughed. A sharp, surprise laugh that turned heads. 6 languages, he said in English now, amazed. You didn't even hesitate. Maya shrugged. People don't hesitate when they care. He blinked. That landed. She handed him the coffee. Oat milk, extra hot, no foam. He'd mentioned meetings. He reached for his wallet, hands still trembling slightly. Why? He asked. Why do you do this? Maya thought of her mother practicing greetings at the kitchen table. Of being ignored in hospitals. Of watching her father nod even when he didn't understand. Because being understood changes everything, she said simply. He nodded slowly. Then the Wi-Fi failed. His face fell. I need to send a file, he said, panic creeping in. Now, Maya was already resetting the router. Already writing the password on a clean card. Already fixing the problem like she'd done 100 times before. Habit. The connection blinked back. He exhaled like someone who'd been underwater. Thank you, he said quietly. He tipped far more than necessary. He sat by the window, typing fast, intense, untouched coffee cooling beside him. Minutes later, he stood abruptly, too abruptly, and left his phone. Maya saw it instantly. She ran. Sir, outside, the morning road. He turned, confused, and she pressed the phone into his hand. Their eyes locked. Something changed. You didn't have to do that, he said. Maya smiled. It's just how I work. Across the street, a black luxury sedan waited. The driver opened the door. Maya didn't notice. She went back inside, tied her apron tighter, and greeted the next guest. She had no idea she'd just solved a billionaire's problem. She only knew she'd followed her habit.